And you can make your way onto your back. Just notice how your body feels this morning. And start to make a connection to your breath. Just really enjoying that energy and the life that your breath gives you. You start to cultivate a smoother breath at your own pace. Just reach your arms by your ears. Give yourself a stretch. Hug your knees towards your chest. Just take a little bit of movement. And then keep the knees bent. Just drop the feet to the mat and take your arms by your sides. Just take a gentle bridge pose. Lift the hips up. And then lower the hips back down. Take your right arm up by your ears. Let that arm fall to the floor behind you and turn your head to the left, any amount. And turn the head to neutral. Take the right arm by the side. Reach the left arm by the ear and turn the head to the right. And then turn the head to center. Take the arm back down by the side. Hug your knees back towards your chest. And keep the right knee hugged in. Extend the left leg onto the mat. Take your right arm to a T and drop the leg over to the left for a twist. Just come back up to center, change sides of the left knee and extend the right leg out. And take the left arm to a T, drop the leg over to the right. And then come back to center, hug the knees in. Keep the knees bent, drop the feet to the mat. Take one more bridge pose here. Press into the feet, lift the hips. And then lower all the way down and roll yourself up to a seated position. So once you're seated, just extend your legs out in front of you and point and flex your feet. And take some circles and opposite direction. And then just bend the knees, feet a little wider than the hips. You can just rest your hands next to your hips and then drop your knees over to the right and then back through center and over to the left. So you can just take that movement side to side at your own pace. Next time the knees are over to the right, just pause there. You can twist your torso to the right and just extend your arms out so your fingertips are resting down. And just come back through center, take the knees to the other side, turn your torso to the left and pause there. And then just bring the knees through center and make your way up into tabletop. Once you're there, you have some time just to take whatever movement you like. Let's take one more cycle of breath, and after the exhale, we'll just meet back in child's pose. Make your way back up through tabletop. Take your right leg up and back. Take an inhale there. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend it back. This time, bend the right knee and cross the right knee behind the left knee so the shins are crossed. You can stay right there. If it feels good, you can take your hips back towards your heels, like you're moving towards a modified child's pose. Maybe the feet widen away from each other a little bit. And then shift back forward if you shifted back. Just unwind the legs so you're back in tabletop and wiggle your hips side to side. Come back to stillness. Take the left leg up and back and take an inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, extend it back. This time, bend the left knee, cross the left knee behind the right. And then if you want, hips can go back towards the heels for that funky cross-legged child's pose. And then shift the shoulders back over the wrists. Unwind the legs so you're back in tabletop and wiggle your hips side to side. From there, just take your right foot between your hands. So you're coming into a low lunge from tabletop. And if you want, you can take your hands to blocks. And then just sneak your right foot back so you're back in tabletop and bring your left foot forward for the low lunge on the second side. And then take your left foot back into tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips first, downward facing dog. You have some time just to move. And just take your right leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands and come up into crescent. Reach your arms by your ears. And then I'm gonna come down just so you can see me. Flip your palms away from each other and then cross your right wrist in front of your left wrist so your palms are touching. And from there, reach up through the fingertips and take a side bend over to your right. And then come upright, release that wrist cross. Just take your hands down, step to downward facing dog. We'll go straight to the other side. Left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands and come up into crescent. Just start with the arms up by the ears. And then just flip the palms away from each other. Cross the left wrist in front of the right wrist. Pause there for a moment just so you can get set. And then reach up through the fingertips, take a side bend over to your left. come back upright, release the arms. Take your hands down to frame your foot and step straight to downward facing dog. And walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold at the top of the mat. Take an inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, draw your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank. Take an inhale and plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale for cobra, lift head and shoulders. And exhale, lower down, press through tabletop to downward facing dog. And walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank. Take an inhale there and plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale for cobra, lift head and shoulders. And exhale, lower down, press through tabletop to downward facing dog. And walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way to standing. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sit back for chair. Exhale, fold forward, straighten your legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step straight to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, foot between the hands. Inhale for crescent, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands frame the foot, step to down dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, foot between the hands. Inhale, crescent, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands frame the foot straight to down dog. Just a couple breaths there. And then walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sit back for chair. And exhale, straighten the legs, hands to the heart. Inhale, sit back for chair. Exhale, fold forward, straighten your legs. Inhale, lift halfway. straight to down dog. On your inhale, take your right leg up and back. Exhale, bring the foot between the hands, drop the back knee down. And then bring the arms up by the ears, cross the right palm in front of the left palm so the palms touch like we did earlier. Take a side bend over to your right. And then come back upright, unwind the wrist. Take the hands down to frame your front foot. You can stay here if you want. You can pull the left heel in towards the body and reach your right hand back for the top of the left foot. You have the foot, release it. Bring your right hand back to the mat. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee so you're in a lunge, and then twist to the right, reach your right arm up. Start to spin onto the pinky toe edges of both feet and lower your hips down to the mat. Reach that right arm back. Just take a breath right there. And then spin back to a lunge, bring your right hand to the mat, and just go straight back to downward facing dog. And take your left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, drop the back knee down and bring the arms up by the ears. Cross the left wrist in front so palms touch. And then take a side bend over to your left. And then come back up right, unwind the wrist. Bring the hands down to frame your front foot. You can stay in the low lunge like this, or pull your right heel in and take your left hand to the top of the right foot. You have the foot, release it. Bring the left hand back to the mat. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee so you're in a lunge. And then twist the torso to the left, reach your left arm towards the ceiling. Spin onto the pinky toe edges of both feet, lower the hips down, reach your left arm back for a breath. And then unwind that, come back to a lunge, and just step yourself to downward facing dog. Just take your right leg up and back. Bend the knee, open the hip. Take a moment or two there. And then just straighten the legs square off the hip. Return that foot to the mat and change sides. Take the left leg up and back. Bend the knee, open the hip. Take a little bit of movement. And then straighten the legs square off the hip. And just lower that foot down. So you're back and down dog. And then take your right leg up and back. Bring your right knee to the right elbow and drop the right foot next to the right pinky. So your foot is wider than your right hand. So you're in a lunge, but that right leg is to the outside of the shoulder this time. And then you can keep the back knee up, or you can drop the back knee down and untuck the toes. Hands can be on blocks if you like. And then if you'd like, you can drop down to forearms, but I'm not even gonna show you that. So if you know you can go there and that feels good, go for it. And if you're on forearms, come back to the palms of the hands. If the back knee is down, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then take your right leg up and back so you're in three-legged dog. And then bring the foot between the hands this time. So right foot is between the hands for a lunge. And then come into a standing split from here. So walk your hands forward and take your left leg up and back. Here, just bend your left knee and pull your left knee in towards your nose. And then re-extend that leg back up into the standing split. Bend the knee, hug it in towards the nose. And then take it back into the standing split. One more like that, left knee into the nose. And then back into the standing split. Once you're in the standing split, start to bend both knees. Bring your left knee towards the back of your right knee so you can bring your left shin to the mat. And then take your hips back so you're seated. So hopefully right knee is pointing up, right ankle is crossed in front of left knee here. And then take your left arm up towards your ear and twist over to the right. And then turn the torso back forward. You're gonna come out the way you came in. So this is kind of awkward, but you can do it. Walk your hands forward, lift your hips, maybe walk your right foot forward a little bit and come back to your standing split. And then take a little bend in your right knee, lower your left foot so you're back in a lunge with your hands down. Plant your hands to the mat, step yourself back, downward facing dog. Just take a couple breaths there. And take the left leg up and back. Bring the left knee to the left elbow and drop that foot next to the left pinky. So the left foot is outside of the left hand. Again, you can stay where you are. You can drop your back knee. You could drop down to forearms if you want. And then if you're on forearms, come back to the palms of the hands. If the back knee is down, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. And then take the left leg up and back so you're in a three-legged dog. And then bring the left foot between the hands so you're in a lunge. And walk your hands forward, lift your right leg so you're in that standing split. From there, bend the right knee, hug the right knee in towards the nose. And then straighten the right leg up and back, standing split. Two more like that. Hug the right knee towards the nose. Back to the standing split. Knee to nose. And back to the standing split. This time start to bend both knees, bring the right knee towards the back of the left knee so you can drop your right shin to the mat, and then take your hips and sit them back. So left knee's pointing up this time. Take the right arm by the ear and take a twist over to your left. And then unwind the torso. Start to walk your hands forward so you can lift your hips. You may have to walk your left foot forward a little bit to come back to that standing split with the right leg up and back. Good. Take a little bend in your left knee, come to a lunge, drop your right foot down, and then step yourself to downward facing dog. You can hold down dog if you'd like a vinyasa. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And then take your right leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands for a lunge. And then walk your hands forward from modified warrior 3 this time. So hands can be on the mat or blocks. And the left leg will just be like parallel to the mat. So it doesn't have to be very high. Pause there, take a moment. Lengthen your chest forward. Press the left heel back. And then if you want, rotate your torso to the right, reach your right arm up. And if you're in the twist, bring your right hand back to the mat or block. And then start to lower the left foot, cross the left ankle behind the right ankle so you're in a cross-legged standing forward fold. And you can start to hinge forward here. You have just a couple breaths. And then re-lengthen your chest forward, uncross the ankles, plant your hands to the mat, and just step straight back to downward facing dog. Just a couple breaths there. And then take the left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands for the lunge. And then come into your modified warrior 3. So hands to mat or block, right leg up and back, just parallel to the mat. Lengthen your chest forward as you press your right heel back. Keep that line of energy as you twist your torso to the left and reach your left arm up. And then bring your left hand back to the mat or block. Lower that right foot so the right ankle crosses behind the left ankle. And if you want, you can hinge forward. And then re-lengthen your chest forward, uncross your ankles, and then plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Just drop your knees, take a child's pose. And then make your way back into downward facing dog. Take your right leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands for a lunge. And then twist to the right, reach your right arm up. Spin to the pinky toe edge of your left foot, your back foot, and start to heel toe your right foot over to the right. So your right foot comes in line with your hips. So you're in this modified side plank. If that's not for you, left shin can be down, right leg back. And then if you want, you can lower your hips down towards the mat for a hover. And then press into the left hand and lift the hips back up. You got two more like that. Lower the hips down and hover. And lift back up. And lower and hover. And back up. And then bring your right hand to the mat. Wherever you are, make your way back to downward facing dog. And then take your left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands. And then take a twist to the left, reach your left arm up. Spin to the pinky toe edge of your right foot and start to heel toe your left foot over to the left so it comes in line with your hips. You're in that modified side plank. And then lower the hips and hover. And then press back up. Two more like that, lower and hover. And back up. And lower and hover. And back up. And then bring your left hand to the mat, find your way back to down dog, and then back to child's pose again. Oh, you deserve a rest after that. Then come back into downward facing dog. Just come forward into plank and lower yourself all the way down to your belly. Just slide your forearms forward, come into Sphinx pose. And then lower the head and shoulders down, draw the hands back by the sides of the rib cage. Press up through table and just make your way back to seated. Come to a comfortable cross-leg position. Just take a little bit of cat-cow here with the spine. So inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, curl and round. And just continue with your own breath cycle. And if you'd like, you can take some circles with the rib cage, or you can stay with cat-cow. If you're circling, go the opposite direction. And then just come back to neutral. Bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. And then lengthen your chest up towards the ceiling and start to tilt the pelvis forward as you hinge forward. And then lengthen your chest forward, come back up, extend the legs straight out in front of you. And this time, bend your right knee, bring the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh, so that right knee opens up to the right. And then if you'd like, you can walk your hands forward and fold forward. And walk your hands back, just change sides, extend the right leg, bend the left knee, sole of the left foot to inner right thigh, and maybe walk forward. Walk the hands back. Just take both legs out in front of you. Walk yourself forward if you need some space to roll back. And then come all the way onto your back. Just hug your knees in, take a little bit of movement. And then keep the knees bent, drop the feet to the mat, press into the feet and roll up into bridge. And then lower the hips back down to the mat and just pause. No effort. And then cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Coming in to thread the needle if you want, hug the left thigh towards the chest. And then drop the left foot to the mat. Take your arms to a T so the right ankle is still crossed. We're going to take the knees both directions today. So starting by dropping the knees over to the left. So the right foot flat, right knee up. And then bring the knees back up to center. Walk the left foot over to the left so it's at the long edge of the mat. And then drop the knees over to the right for a twist. And if you don't like having the ankle crossed, you could take the right foot to the right long edge of the mat. And then come back up to center, unwind everything, and just come back to like a bridge set up with the legs, knees bent, soles of the feet flat. Just take a moment there. Notice how the hips feel, the sides of the body feel. And then take the left ankle over the right thigh, and if you'd like, hug your right thigh in. And then drop the right foot to the mat, take the arms to a T and let everything fall over to the right. So sole of the left foot flat, left knee up. And then draw everything back through center, walk your right foot to the right long edge of the mat. Let everything fall to the left and maybe uncross the ankle if that feels better. Left foot to left long edge of the mat. And then draw the knees through center, unwind the legs so you can just hug them in towards the chest. And then come into a happy baby, reaching for the feet or the backs of the knees. Maybe you straighten the right leg for a breath. And then change sides, bend the right leg, straighten the left. Maybe both legs straighten for one more breath. And hug your knees back in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. And then release your legs. Find your way into Shavasana. Start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes.
Circle your ankles and your wrists. Reach your arms by your ears, nice big stretch. And then roll off to one side, pause there, eyes closed. Press into your top hand, make your way up to a comfortable seat, eyes closed, hands at the heart. Just have a little affirmation for this morning. If you want to repeat it as I say it, it's pretty simple. It says, I do not have to rush through my feelings. I am allowed to feel. You know, this year has had a lot of feelings. Sometimes they have not been easy to feel, but I hope that whatever you're feeling, you allow yourself to notice it and feel it. I am grateful for each of you. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.